Hopefully you have gone off and done your strengths and you have looked at the journal prompts and completed those around your strengths, because we are on to your core motivator part 2, which is your values. Now, as part of this program, you would have received a deck of values cards. I'm hoping you haven't, started throwing them around the house. I'm hoping you've got them in a neat pile, because we're going to do an exercise using those values cards. Before we do though, just a little bit about values. Some of you will be really clear on what values are, but just in case you need a refresher, I tend to think of our values as our true north. They're what drives us from within. We have so many things outside of us that we tend to seek influence from. So literally influences on social media, bosses, co-workers, friends, etc. Values are our internal drivers. They're the things that keep us pointing towards what it is that rings true for us and the things that are important to us. So, I forgot to say, the other thing I love about values is that you can never reach your value. It's not like, there's always more north to go. It's not like you go, I've achieved freedom, or I'm there with authenticity. There's nothing more I can do. There's always growth. You can keep walking towards true north more and more, so they last with you throughout your life. And I can't tell you the number of times I've redone my values cards, because I teach it a fair bit. And some of them change, most of them stay the same. Either way, I still get a reminder of, oh my gosh, I've been completely forgetting to play to this value, to make it part of my life, and I'm going to make a few tweaks. So values for me are a way to keep myself on track with who I want to be in this world. And that's why they're so important to understanding what comes next for you. If you are creating a career move or a life decision that moves you away from your values, whether you know it or not, you will sabotage yourself. You will get in your own way, because when you start to play towards your values, you feel in alignment with who you want to be and in alignment with the role you are meant to play and the work you are meant to do in this lifetime. So for me, it's a vital component. I can't wait for you to either figure yours out or have a bit of reminder as to what yours are. All right, you ready to do the exercise? Here's how it works. You're going to get your deck of values cards, and I personally like to take a seat on the floor, give myself a bit of space. You can do it on a desk, I don't mind. But you are going to be sorting those cards into 4 piles. So the pile on the left is, this value is extremely important to me. The pile next to that, this value is somewhat important to me. Third pile along is, this value is a little bit important to me. And the fourth and final pile is, this value is not important to me, or in fact, it goes against my values. Some really important things to note when you're sorting. Remember I said right at the start, in terms of a guideline, trust your heart, and your gut. This is especially true for this exercise. I don't want you looking at a values card and going, should I say that? But if I said that, my Auntie Maud would think this. It's not like that. It is gut and heart feel, sort, read, sort, read, sort. It shouldn't take more than 10 seconds. If it takes more than 10 seconds, you're probably in your head, and move from the neck down into your heart and your gut. Second thing that is worth mentioning is it can be really tempting to pick the values you think that you should have. And I still remember the first time I did a values card sort. I was working in gender diversity and equity, and the value came up of fairness, and I was like, that should be in my most important pile. And it wasn't. I wasn't saying it was against my values, but it wasn't the thing that drove me more than anything else, or a thing that drove me more than anything else. So don't go for aspirational values of, I wish I was like this. Go for the things that you know actually deep down are important to you. They are the things that drive you. It doesn't mean that you're doing this now, but it means that you really want to do it. This feels like it's a part of you. It makes up who you are. Pause this video now, sort into those 4 piles. This value is extremely important. This value is somewhat important. This value is a little bit important. And this value is not important or against my values. Pause the video, do that. When it's done, come on back. All right, so you should have 4 piles of cards. I'm going to ask you to do something that you might not want to do, which is you're going to take the 3 piles on this side. So everything except this value is extremely important to me, you're going to just put to one side and put in a pile. You're only going to be looking at the pile that is this value, or these values are extremely important to me. If you have more than 10, you are going to cut out all of the ones except for your top 10. That's part 1. Part 2 is you are going to order those values. So just say you've got 8 in that pile, you're going to come up with value number 1, 2, 3, all the way through to 8. If you've got 10, do the same in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you have done that, you have your top 10 values in order. And now it's time to go to your journal and complete the journal prompts there around values. Enjoy.